Let me know when we're on. Ladies and gentlemen, please bring your attention to me. A feast for your eyes to see. An explosion of catastrophe. Ladies and gentlemen, Saliva, WrestleMania 2003. Welcome to the show.
Amazing.
And welcome to episode 181 of the most must-see, award-winning, star-studded show to ever hit the Bedford TV airwaves or any
hail McHale.
north, south, east, west, backwards, frontwards, sideways, diagonally, all any which way, all around the world, the wrestling connection. I am your host, your connection to the wrestling world, your fedorable villain himself. All decked out in black and gold and feeling oh so bold. Mr. Ken Hill. Alongside me, as always, in the studio today, the infamous Mr. Greg Dolan.
I'll take the champ, Mr. Greg Dolan, actually.
Your infamous champ,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Greg Dolan. Mr. McHale, of course.
All hail McHale.
Of course. And the lovely Miss Big Four pay-per-view champion herself, Miss Julie Minugian. Now,
All hail McHale.
I'm sorry, it happens
Greg,
without my knowledge.
Greg, we got 13 matches to go through. So,
Woo!
yeah,
Yeah.
so you want... we
McHale
can keep doing that. Go ahead.
All right.
You want to get one more out of your system?
No, I'm good.
Is McHale good?
I'm good.
I know that's involuntary, like your habit of showing up here, but...
You got to give what the people want, you know?
Okay, well, you haven't been so yeah, I guess you have, considering you haven't been on for like 4 or 5 weeks.
I'm building
Burn.
up anticipation for Summerslam,
Sure, that's what it is. And
biggest slam of the summer.
Largest slam, in fact.
at least you're not like Jeremy Piven and call it Summerside.
Should be called Summer Show.
Yeah. What? Yeah, whatever. Okay. Anyway, it is the biggest party of the summer. It's the final big time pay-per-view of the summer for WWE, SummerSlam, one of the big 4 pay-per-view shows where you see both Raw and SmackDown come together, put on a huge pay-per-view, and it's very appropriate because again we've got a whopping 13 matches to go through. You got 3 on the kickoff. You got 10 matches on the show, on the appropriate show. And, of course, as you can tell, I'm all decked out for the affair. It's a star-studded affair, and why not have the biggest star of them all? For those who watched last week, who saw the whole bet go down between me and Nick saying that if I came in all decked out in Goldust's finery and makeup, that I would get a 2-point advantage. And I can never turn down an opportunity like that.
You're going to need it this week.
Oh, we'll see. As you can tell, my bet. I even found a nice solid gold fedora. It's a wonder my neck hasn't snapped. and anyway, so like I said, we got Nick, we got Mikhail on hand, we got Greg, we got Julie.
All hail Mikhail! Sorry, I heard the word Mikhail.
Sorry.
It's set up to automatically respond to that. I apologize.
It's a package deal.
I'm so sure. I'm so sure. All right. So anyway, like I said, we have a lot to go through. A lot, barring any more interruptions.
All right, let's rock and roll. Let's go. First match.
All right. First match we have for the kickoff show is actually a rematch of sorts from this past Monday on Raw, the Cruiserweight Championship. That being the new Cruiserweight Champion, Akira Tozawa, member of Titus Worldwide, going up against the former Cruiserweight Champion, the former King of the Cruiserweights, Neville. Now, Titus had managed to convince Raw General Manager Kurt Angle to have this match moved up to 6 days ahead on Monday Night Raw. Akira would make the most of it, coming away with the Cruiserweight Championship, and Neville has been in fits ever since, demanding his rematch at SummerSlam. He got it, and here we go. Now, I mean, I know WWE likes to go 50-50 booking with a lot of their matches right here, but you literally, and I know sometimes they'll put these kind of matches on early, kind of spike ratings before coming into a pay-per-view, but Neville's had a really good run as Cruiserweight Champion, but I think you kind of need to start taking it. Now it's the latter half of 2017. You kind of need to start taking things in a new direction with the Cruiserweight division right here. Neville had a good run for the first half of 2017. I think it's time for someone else to have a turn at the reins. So I'm gonna go with Akira to retain the title right here. I think I don't see this being a flip flop right here. I'm gonna go with Akira. All right, so Greg, you being King of PPV.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll
pick in the
start
control
off
room.
with my first pick, but first I'm going to go with Nick's pick. Nick said this one is obvious. It's obviously Neville.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not as confident as he is, but I'm also going to go with Neville.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Mostly the length of his hair. I feel like it gives him an advantage in this kind of match.
Makes him more aerodynamic, you say.
Less aerodynamic. You don't want to move too quick at the beginning of the show. You want to take your time. The hair might slow him down just the right amount.
Maybe. All right. So, Julie, Big 4 pay-per-view champion.
I agree with you, and I picked Tozawa for all the reasons you stated.
All right. So we're split. So far, we're split. Okay. Sir, whose name I seem to have mysteriously forgotten.
It's Mikhail.
Yeah. Okay. So. All
hail Mikhail.
I didn't say it.
It's broken. I'll fix it. Hold on.
Oh.
All hail Mikhail.
Greg, come on.
All right, that should do it.
Greg, come on.
I'm
really.
telling you, I don't have any control over this.
Oh,
Me
but.
neither.
Oh, God. We're going to be here for 2 hours at this rate. All right. So, Mikhail, Cruiserweight Championship match. Who do you got?
All right. I first want to say I find it ridiculous that they would give away such a big match like this. They could have built up to it with a match, and they could have gone into SummerSlam with it, but that's neither here nor there. Thinking about it really hard, I think they're going to put Neville into a different direction, and I think they're going to keep going with Akira Tozawa, so I'm going to say Tozawa.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you about a number of matches. The fact that they already gave like a good chunk of these away on Raw and SmackDown this past week, and you have to from a marketing standpoint, it makes little sense. I mean, we're only paying $9.99 if we're getting the WWE Network.
How much?
But Yeah, $9.99. There you go, WWE, free advertising. But the point being is, why are people going to want to tune in to see literally the same match they just watched for free on Raw or SmackDown? Makes zero sense. I mean, I guess with the up next match, I guess it's a little different because it's a different arrangement. But point being is, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, booking or marketing wise. The next match I'm talking about, of course, is the SmackDown Tag Team title match. Champions New Day defending against the Usos. Now, this is, of course, the rubber match. New Day is one of the first two. The first one was by countout. Second one was where they actually took the championship, thanks to the combination of Xavier and Kofi. This time, contrary to what you may see in the image right there, it's actually going to be Xavier and Big E, sort of the power-speed combination, going up against the Usos, while Kofi is at ringside. Now, again, this is the same token. I mean, this has been a great feud. I've loved the build up to this. You know, the rap battles, the stolen catchphrases. Basically, these have been two of the top tag teams, like JBL's pointed out, in the last 10 years. I mean, one of the top athletic teams. So, no doubt, you got a big time environment. SummerSlam. You got two of the top tier teams. I have no doubt this will probably be one of the early show stealers of the night. That being said, I feel like that, okay, they've kind of done all they can up to this point. I feel like this is kind of like the stopping point for this feud right here, and that would mean the New Day retains right here. I'm sure the Usos will have like ample opportunity right here. I'm sure at some point they'll come back into the tag team title mix, but I think after this, after New Day retains, they need to start moving on to other opposition. So I'm gonna go with the New Day to retain right here, and just to get it out of the way, because I'm gonna go with New Day. I'm gonna make them my lock of the night. I guess in my case, my golden lock of the night. So I'm gonna make New Day my pick. I'm gonna make it my lock of the night. I just think this one's pretty cut and dry. I don't think they're gonna put the titles back on the Usos. I think there's more opportunity for New Day to go up against other opposition on SmackDown.
All right, well, it's kind of funny you say that because Nick was very confident in the Usos and actually made the Usos his silver lock of the night.
His silver lock of the night.
Yeah, silver lock. He's very confident they're going to get the belt back. But Ken, I'm with you. I'm going New Day to retain.
Oh, don't tell me someone made a bronze lock of the night on this one.
No, I'm not going to bronze lock this one. I'm going to keep it normal. I always pick the New Day because they almost always win.
All right. Okay, Julie. I mean, I know you're a big fan of both of these teams. I know this one may be a little tricky for you, but who do you think is going to take it in this one?
I'm going to have to disagree with you, and I'm going to go with the Usos.
Wow. Why is that?
It's just a gut feeling. I just feel every once in a while, it's just they throw one.
Yeah, you throw a curveball our way.
Yeah, curveball feeling.
All right. So I mean, there's definitely more potential for more than one title change at SummerSlam. So I can see where you're coming from, but I just don't see it with this one. I mean, I think there's just more opportunity for like a heel team to come up against the New Day rather than having a face go up against the Usos, because we already seen the Usos run through a number of face teams on SmackDown. So I think having heels chasing the face champions would be a fresh change on SmackDown. Okay, all right. God help me willing, Mikhail.
What was that?
Mikhail.
Mikhail? Okay.
Mikhail. Oh. Yeah, okay. I saw you do that, Greg. I saw you do that.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah,
right
whatever.
now.
Okay.
I haven't been on the show in a few weeks. I don't know what the format is.
Uh-huh.
But
Sorry, there was a fly on the screen. I had to get it out.
Oh, come off it.
I hate flies.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go New Day.
I hate little pests.
Because SummerSlam will be on a new day. It's not going to be on an old day. So,
Yeah.
New Day.
Okay. All right. So pretty much. So 3 for New Day, 2 for Usos. Still a little uneven right there. All right. So now we move on to the next match, which is the SmackDown Women's Title, which will feature the champion Naomi versus Natalya. Now Natalya won, of course, another multi-woman match on the last SmackDown pay-per-view. Seems like we're having like one every pay-per-view SmackDown's on. Natalya won a fatal 5-way elimination match to become the #1 contender to Naomi's championship. Now, the little wrinkle in this has been the first ever Women's Money in the Bank case holder, which in this case is Carmella. Now, given the fate of the other Money in the Bank case holder, Baron Corbin, bombed earlier this week on SmackDown. I'll elaborate on that a little more. I just don't see her. I see her maybe like being acting as a distraction. I don't see her cashing in though. I think it's like a little too soon. I don't think they're just going to go like back-to-back failed cash-ins right here. It would be unprecedented because we've never seen that. I mean, we've seen like one cash-in fail, another cash-in work. We've never seen just, back-to-back failures. But I think Naomi's going to retain right here because, I mean, I was kind of unsure about this. Natalya doesn't exactly blow me away as a competitor in 2017. I'm sure it'll be a solidly done match as is Natalya's technical nature, but I don't see her winning. So I'm going to go with Naomi to retain.
All right, so I'll do Nick's pick first.
All right.
So you went Naomi to retain, correct?
I went with Naomi, yeah.
Oh, you guys just can't agree on anything. He went with Natalya for this one.
Wow, I'm
Seemed
so
pretty
surprised.
confident in this one, too. Just kept talking about how this is definitely going to happen. But he had already used his silver lock of the night, and I had to tell him that a bronze lock is not a thing. He did go Natalya. I'm also going to go Natalya.
Oh, so why are you going Natalya?
Just to be different, because you have a 2-point advantage to start because you're dressed like Goldust. So I need to get some wins over you.
If you want to blame anyone, blame Nick. I don't think
no blame.
I don't think he knew. I don't think he thought I'd go through with this.
No, it's great, but if I want to win, I can't pick the same as you, so I got to go against you sometimes, and I think this one's kind of 50-50.
All righty. All right, so Julie.
All right, I'm going with Naomi. I say Naomi is the new queen after Charlotte. I think she's the most exciting wrestler on the women's side, and there's no doubt about it. I'm very confident they're going to give it to her and all her glow and all her fluorescentness, and it's going to go to Naomi.
Oh, I think I know a little. I think I know a little something about that glow. All right, so okay, now bring it over to Mikhail. Mikhail. Greg, I see your fingers like itching. Oh God!
All hail
I know it.
Mikhail.
I know it.
I don't have control over this, okay,
Yeah,
Ken?
fly on
Yeah,
the
Greg.
bus.
Yeah. I'm sure Greg doesn't.
We're
either.
getting covered in flies. Julie's over here chewing on nuts, and they're like attracted by the salt on it, so we can't do anything about it. But I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Ken. I'm gonna go Natalya, and here's why. I think that Naomi's reign has become stale. I think she has run her course. And I think there would be a more interesting dynamic between Natalya and Carmella than there would be with Naomi. And
No way.
I mean, it's only gotten stale because you can only curb stomp Lana so many times before it gets repetitive. I mean, any championship gets stale like when they don't have like a solid creative direction. And I mean, like I said, I mean, I can see where you're coming from on that. I just think Naomi still has more potential as a champion than Natalya. Natalya just doesn't strike me as someone at this point that you want. If they were going to make Natalya the head of a women's division, I would think they were already done so by now. I mean, she's been around longer than any other female wrestler on the SmackDown roster or Raw roster for that matter. So if you think they would have made her like a leader of sorts, they would have already done it by now. But yet she only has one championship reign to her name, which was years ago. So clearly they don't see her in the same realm as a Trish Stratus or Lita or Fabulous Moolah right here. So I don't see her being like a big time player.
I do have a fascinating theory if you'd be willing to hear it.
As long as it doesn't take up the next 30 minutes, sure.
It won't. All right, so Natalya wins. She wins the championship. Carmella cashes in on her.
All right.
That brings into a feud Carmella and Natalya.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I picked
wonderful
Natalya.
theory. Very thorough. Very explanatory. Very nice. Okay. Anyway, moving on. All right. So let's flip it over to the Raw side for a second. Let's take it to the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss defending against Sasha. Now, the interesting part about this feud was that originally it was scheduled to be Alexa Bliss versus Bayley.
Working on it.
Okay. So basically, Bayley had pinned Alexa for two weeks straight, once in a tag team match, once in a one-on-one non-title match, earning the opportunity at SummerSlam. However, in a match with Nia Jax, due to unfortunate incident, including Nia Jax's outright greenness and clumsiness, Bailey ended up suffering a separated shoulder and will be out for a number of weeks. Now, in that case, a new number one contender had to be named. A mini tournament was scheduled, which ended up with the finals being Sasha versus Nia Jax. Sasha ending up picking up a big submission win over Nia Jax, earning a number one contendership against a longtime rival, Alexa Bliss. Now, here's the thing. We've been discussing this since, thank you. We've been discussing this since like the top of 2017. Basically, when is the whole heel turn going to happen between Sasha and Bailey? But now the question is, the question was leading up to this, was Sasha going to turn on Bailey? Now the question seems to be, I mean, is this a legit injury that's going to keep Bailey out for the next few weeks? Or was this just an unfortunate incident which Sasha seems to be capitalizing on? So, I mean, could we see Bailey somehow try to get involved to try and help her friend and have it backfire? I mean, could we just see a straight up match between Sasha and Alexa? I mean, who knows? I mean, we could just see Alexa retain and move on. But much like you elaborated on with the SmackDown Women's Championship situation, Mikhail, I think the Raw Women's title situation has gotten a little stale itself. I mean, Alexa's had a good run as Women's Champion, but I mean, we need something fresh. We need something to take up the latter half of 2017, and I think it's time to get started on the whole Sasha Bailey storyline that's been it's been building. It's been building for the last few months. So I mean, this is kind of a bit of a radical pick for me. I'm going to go with Sasha to retain. I mean, to win. I'm going to go with Sasha to become the new women's champion. I maybe there might be some Bailey interference right here, but I think that will. I mean, we'll see where that goes down the line. But I'm going to go with Sasha for the win.
All right, you get Sasha?
I pick Sasha.
All right, so let me just channel Nick really quick. He's going with Alexa. Yep, Alexa. Shockingly, he went with Alexa on this one. He seems to be onto something with his picks today. Can't quite figure it out.
Oh, it's a mystery. It's a mystery on that.
I'm also going to go with Alexa on this one.
So why are you going with Alexa?
Again, I feel like it's a 50-50. I need to gain 2 points somewhere on you.
Right. Good point.
Just being pragmatic.
All right. So now, Julie. Now, the Raw Women's title. I mean, I know you're more into the SmackDown side of things, but
yeah.
How do you feel about Alexa and Sasha?
I'm agreeing with you, and I'm going with Sasha. I just think that whole thing is played out. It's getting stale, which is our key word today. Alexa is just annoying.
And I mean,
talked about that before.
I mean, if there's going to be any time to pull the trigger on the whole Sasha Bailey feud, I would think this would be the critical point to do it.
Yeah, and that's interesting that you think there might be interference by Bailey. I do agree that that there could potentially be some big drama among the women. Maybe some kind of an interference.
Well, I mean, with let's say sex with women in WWE, there's always drama.
Exactly.
There's always some sort of drama going on.
I am disappointed though that Charlotte's not on the bill at all.
I'm a little disappointed too, but I mean, just like I was talking about in the last couple of weeks with the rumors of the 4 horsewomen feud from the MMA and from the WWE side. I feel like that maybe they're saving her for for that particular feud. I mean, whether it's a one-on-one with Ronda Rousey or it ends up being like a 4-on-4 match, like going into like WrestleMania season, like next year. Mm-hmm. I feel like maybe they're kind of like gearing her up for that rather than any serious title aspirations.
Yeah.
She's already been there. She's already what a 4-time women's champion.
Yeah.
So I mean, and people were complaining about the fact that she was winning the title so much, kind of like trying to like remind people of her father about how many times he won the world championship.
Okay.
So I feel like maybe they're trying to cool her off a little, so like that way, the comparisons between her and her dad, just stop cropping up so much. That's all. But that's just my take. I don't know what the whole backstage situation is. But that would just be my best guess.
I am going with Sasha.
Okay.
From Boston.
All righty. Boston hometown pick. All right. Okay, Mikhail. How do you feel about this one?
That one, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I guess it stopped.
Act of God, man.
That just didn't happen. I have to think. I would say Alexa Bliss is going to win, and I think there's going to be some interference from Nia Jax. I think Bayley is still dealing with her injury, so I don't think she could interfere at any time without risking her. So I would say Nia Jax interferes,
Well, I mean,
and they extend the Alexa Bliss Sasha Banks until Bayley gets back, and then Bayley can help with the heel turn.
I would agree. I agree with you in that sense. I guess if they could find a way to keep things stretched out, but the point I'm trying to make is, they did the same thing with Reigns and Braun Strowman. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to make comparisons between Braun and Bayley of all people, but the point is, they said Braun was going to be out for anywhere up like the 6 months, and he came back in just a number of weeks. So what I'm saying is, okay, while they said Bayley may be out for anywhere up to a few months, for all we know, she could be back this Sunday. We don't know. We don't know whether it's a legit injury. We don't know whether it's just simply a work. We don't know whether she may very well show up at SummerSlam, injury or not.
Wait, so let me just ask this: if Sasha wins by disqualification, and I picked Alexa, does that mean?
Well, that means you still lose out because the end of the day, it's who wins the match. It doesn't matter by what means.
Sasha
if
Banks
it's disqualification, count out, whatever means, whoever wins.
Sasha Banks disqualification.
Okay, interesting twist right there. All right. Well, I hadn't written it down, so it does count. All right, as long.
No, I said Sasha. I originally said Alexa, but I'm saying Sasha.
Sounds
by
good.
disqualification.
All right, so that actually does. It's interesting you bring that up because that actually leads me into this next match, which is Baron Corbin versus John Cena. This is on the SmackDown side of things. Now, originally, this was just a matter of Corbin coming out and disrespecting Cena, saying that, okay, you didn't need to be jumping Nakamura after his big win over me in the number one contenders match. You didn't need to. That's why I jumped you and laid you out with an AA through the table. Corbin said, well, Cena, I don't need your respect. I'll beat you up whenever I want to. Daniel Bryan comes out, general manager of SmackDown, makes the match between Corbin and Cena. Now, not much of an interesting build there. But then we go to last Tuesday on SmackDown. Main event, John Cena in a non-title match versus WWE Champion Jinder Mahal. Cena lays out Mahal with not one, but two AAs, including an attitude adjustment from the top rope. But before he can make the pinfall, Corbin comes in, whacks Cena 2 times with the Money in the Bank briefcase, hands it to the ref, looks to cash in, but then Cena, intentionally or unintentionally, distracts Corbin after the cash-in has been made official. The bell is rung. Mahal rolls up Corbin, gets the 3 count, and escapes with his championship intact. So Cena, one way or another, ended up costing Corbin a viable cash-in opportunity. Basically cost him his Money in the Bank briefcase, his opportunity that he won at Money in the Bank. So now it gives this feud a little extra spice, because now, alongside Damien Sandow and John Cena himself, Corbin is one of the few Money in the Bank holders to cash in and just outright fail. Which is even more embarrassing because he lost in all of 20 seconds to a weakened champion. So, that being said, I imagine that Corbin's going to come in to this match all sorts of PO'd. He's going to just want. I don't think he's really going to care about winning. I think he's going to just want to beat up on John. I think he's just going to want to beat him so bad the ref has to call the match because Corbin just won't stop assaulting Cena. I see this like you were talking about with Sasha and Alexa. I think this is going to end in a DQ win for John, for Cena. I think, because for one thing, I think it kind of splits things down the middle. It's been brought up that John's got a losing streak at SummerSlam. Corbin's they're looking to establish Corbin not as a dominant people, but basically just a monster on the SmackDown roster. What do monsters do? They just destroy people. They don't care. They don't care about wins or losses. They just care about beating people up. So I think the key thing here is, okay, you have Corbin beat up on John Cena, get the DQ victory, build him up more of a monster, and give Cena a seemingly long overdue win at SummerSlam. So I'm going to go with John Cena, and I think he's going to win by DQ.
All right, so you get Cena by DQ.
Mm-hmm.
Nick has Corbin clean.
Wow. All right, clean as a whistle.
Yeah, clean as a whistle. A 4 count, in fact.
give me 4, ref.
And I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. I'm going to say that John Cena is going to pick up the anti-Undertaker streak here, and he's just going to keep losing forever at SummerSlam, and then one day he'll have a big triumphant win, just like the Undertaker had a big loss.
That's actually an interesting theory now that you bring it up.
Streak and Baron Corbin.
All righty. All right, Julie. Cena versus Corbin. What
I'm
you got?
going Hollywood, and I'm picking Cena.
Ooh, Mr. Hollywood, Mr. Part-Timer, Mr. Wishes he was The Rock. All right, okay. All right, Mikhail. Cena, Corbin. Oh, hell. What's your take on it?
John Cena, lock of the night.
John Cena, lock of the night. All right.
Bronze lock for Mikhail and a tin lock for Julie. She's locking on this one too.
Oh, she's locking on this. Wow. Okay, so we got a double lock.
Double lock.
Double lock.
Double lock.
2 of them. Can't get it out.
I'm going Baron Corbin.
All righty. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's take this to the next match. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Let's go to the Raw. Back to the Raw side of things with the Raw Tag Team Championships. We've got Cesaro and Sheamus defending against the newly reunited. Oh, it feels so good. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Now, originally this whole thing came about when Rollins came out on the short end of the stick in his feud against Bray Wyatt. Basically, Cesaro and Sheamus were giving Rollins no end of grief about his recent losing streak. Rollins took offense to that when they told him he didn't have it anymore and challenged Sheamus to a one-on-one fight. Now, when Rollins ended up getting the win, of course, Sheamus and Cesaro were sore losers about it, started to beat up on him. They had also been giving Ambrose some grief over his recent losing streak, so he came out to get some vengeance on the tag team champions, conveniently helping out his long-time brother-in-arms, Seth Rollins. Now, anyone who knows back to the Shield days, how things ended with Rollins hitting Ambrose in the back of a steel chair, so Ambrose does not forgive and forget so easily. So basically, the whole build-up to this has been Ambrose waffling on whether or not he truly wants to forgive Rollins and move on from what happened back in 2014. So basically, Rollins has changed. Ambrose wants to believe, but really can't trust Rollins. And basically, Cesaro and Sheamus have been basically antagonizing him at every turn. So now, this past Monday, Rollins and Ambrose seemingly came to blows when they couldn't come to an agreement on whether they could reunite or not. Cesaro and Sheamus tried to take advantage of this, but if anything, the irony of this is that Cesaro and Sheamus couldn't get along and ended up being a barroom brawl that brought them together. It was this fight against Cesaro and Sheamus that ended up truly reuniting Ambrose and Rollins as a focused unit, or at very least 2/3 of the Shield. So now the match was made by Raw General Manager Kurt Angle, a tag team title match with Cesaro and Sheamus versus Ambrose and Rollins. Now, personally, I know this is more of a knee-jerk reaction just because of how big the reunion was this past Monday. I thought it was probably the top moment on Raw for the last couple of months. I thought it was big. I thought it was actually very well done. They didn't want Ambrose just to jump for the reunion right away. They worked their way up to it. So I think a proper payoff right here would be to have them win the tag team titles. Like I said, I know it's a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, but I just think if you're going to go the whole 9 yards reunion, have them win the titles. I mean, even if they drop them a couple weeks later back to Sheamus and Cesaro, have the big moment for them, for Rollins and Ambrose. So I'm going to go with Rollins and Ambrose for the win and new tag team champions.
Yeah, Nick's going Cesaro and Sheamus to retain on this one.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. I think Rollins and Ambrose win. I don't think there's much of a point of them coming together for SummerSlam unless they get a big win.
Exactly. I mean, the other thing could be that supposedly the rumor, the end game here is Ambrose turning on Rollins. So, that would be an interesting wrinkle in this too. But I think it's a little too soon for that. I think give them a couple weeks as tag team champions, then work towards the eventual split. But like I said, I'm not changing my mind on that. I'm sticking with Ambrose and Rollins myself.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take your time, you know.
All right, Julie, what you got for us?
I agree with you and Greg, Ambrose and Rollins.
All righty.
And Nick is crazy.
Mr. McHale, what's your take?
Oh, so, unfortunately, I think it's going to come at the expense of Sheamus and Cesaro. I think they needed the championships, and I think it's really what's keeping them together. And I think they're going to fade into darkness. But I think Ambrose and Rollins are probably going to win. They could do the heel turn at SummerSlam, but I think they'll probably wait.
I think this one's. I mean, if I had a second lock, this would probably be that because
You don't.
Well, I know. I already got the 2 points in the lock thing, but the point being,
We don't have copper locks.
No copper locks.
Yeah, but I think we're all in agreement that this. I mean, aside from Nick, that this is really the way it's got to go. I mean, if you don't pull the trigger on this, what was the point of bringing him back? I mean, question right there. All right, so yeah, Ambrose, I think Rollins, yeah, except for Nick, Ambrose and Rollins all around. All right.
No, not all around.
Okay, so let's see.
Not all around. Someone had Cesaro and Sheamus, right, Julie? Nick. Oh, Nick did.
Nick did.
Nick
That's why I say except for Nick.
Nick.
All right, so now we come to an interesting match that was actually made this couple days ago. That's actually yesterday, actually. A 6-man tag team match. A rematch of sorts from the main event on this past Monday Night Raw. You've got Jason Jordan and the Hardy Boys versus Miz and his Miz-tourage. Now, I mean, I get where they're trying to go right here. They're trying to kind of build to the eventual Jordan versus Miz feud for the Intercontinental title. They really didn't accomplish. I guess I can see why they're having a rematch here. They didn't really accomplish, I think, what they were trying to do in the main event. Basically, just having Jeff pin Curtis Axel for the win on Monday night. I think it will be the same result, except this time I see Jordan getting the win over Miz to properly set up a one-on-one match for the Intercontinental title. So I'm going to go with Jordan and the Hardys right here. Take this one. I think this one's pretty cut and dry.
So, sorry, Ken, who do you go with?
Jordan and the Hardys.
Jordan and the Hardys. So, yeah, that makes sense. Unfortunately, Nick went with the Miz and the Miz-tourage.
Right.
I'm going to go with Nick on this one. Go with the Miz.
I mean, I can understand. I mean, the Miz-tourage really hasn't had a lot of success as a unit. But I mean, if they're going to start building to Jordan versus Miz, you need to give Jordan a substantial win. And I mean, there's a little more substantial than SummerSlam, even if it is the pre-show.
Agreed. Julie, what do you got?
I am going to agree with the King of Pay-Per-View, Ken, on this one.
Well, actually, Greg's the King of Pay-Per-View.
Oh, that's right.
He's
Greg's the new one.
Even though he's
Sorry.
not wearing the championship, neither of you wearing the championship.
I'm disagreeing with the King. I'm sorry. I'm going to agree with Gold Dust today.
With Ken Dust, yeah.
Ken Dust.
Ken Dust. Yes, I can Dust.
Jason, Jordan, and the Hardys.
I can do Windows too. Fun. And anyway, okay, so there you go. There's a tile. Finally, he starts wearing it for one. God, I was trying to wear
I just have
Roman Reigns
confidence
right
I'll
there.
have it for a long time.
U.S. title, he never wears it, but now he's finally wearing the championship.
Might get it engraved.
Already did.
Oh, he wishes. All right, so okay, Mikhail, let's take it over to you.
All hail Mikhail!
I do have to leave pretty soon. I have other engagements, obviously.
Of course.
So I've mapped out the rest of my picks.
Okay.
Winning picks.
And we're all so sorry you have to leave so soon.
Oh, it's all right. But I'm glad I could get one last all hail Mikhail.
All hail Mikhail!
Oh, what do you know? What do you know? He has
That's the
one
one you
more
meant,
left
right?
in him.
Yeah, that one. That was the one I was talking about. Okay, so I picked Jason Jordan and the Hardys. I think the Hardys should have stayed in the feud with Cesaro and Sheamus, and that would lead into the broken stuff. But WWE's dumb.
Well, I mean, then you get the whole lawsuit thing going on between GFW and WWE.
How long can they last?
It's
They
a
don't
very
have any
sordid
money.
affair. So I mean, honestly, I think as far as the broken gimmick, I feel like the bloom's already fallen off that rose. I think their best opportunity was to do it when they came back, right after their feud with Cesaro and Sheamus ended, and the whole Awoken thing just kind of falls a little flat. I mean, the broken gimmick was such a big part of the Hardys' late career. You got to capitalize on it as soon as they come in. Otherwise, there's no point to it. I don't see the point right now. After all the brouhaha is down in the courtroom, I don't see the point. All right, so but yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to broke. I mean, if they do it, I mean, do it whole hog. Basically, do the whole 9 yards. Have the Vanguard one. Have Senor Benjamin. Have King Maxwell. Go the whole 9 yards with it. Don't just give us like a watered down WWE version. Do the whole thing. If they're so intent on it, like I said, go the distance with it. That's all.
I want to see them fight a kangaroo.
Oh, who? Yeah, kangaroo. Kangaroo. The spirit of like what? Joe Frazier, I think it was.
It was Joe Louis, but it might
Joe
be
Louis.
Joe Frazier.
Oh, yeah. No, who wouldn't? Okay, so now let's take this to the next match. Okay, so I believe the women's titles, both the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles, Corbin versus Baron. Oh God, this one.
Well, I had to pick one, right? So I went with this one.
Oh well, I already know why you went with this one, you fanboy, you. You big fan showboy, you. But yeah, so we got Big Show versus Big Cass, Enzo Amore, in a shark cage, suspended 15, God knows how many feet above the ring, and much like that shark, that cage. Oh God, has this feud jumped the shark? I mean, I'm sorry, I had to say it. It really has. I mean, this was just supposed to be about using Show, much like he did for Strowman, to help elevate Cass as a big threat, one of the big new threats on Monday Night Raw. Instead, they're just making this more about Enzo and his antics in and out of the ring. I mean, if you've been looking up his behavior issues as of late behind the scenes. Now, basically, I mean, they've set this up. They had Cass and Gallows and Anderson, interestingly enough, gang up on the Big Show, injuring his knockout hand scant few days before the pay-per-view. It's pretty much just setting up an injury angle, so that way they had an easier time putting Cass over a hurt Big Show. Now, obviously, I'm going to go with Cass for this one. I mean, I know we discussed this earlier, but at this point, just let Enzo go after this. Because, I mean, at first I was going to say, I don't know, put him in the Cruiserweight division, or put him on the announce team, or have some backstage role for him. But at this point, I mean, he's more trouble than he's worth. So honestly, I want to make two predictions, one official, one unofficial. I predict Big Cass will win, and I'm hoping that they'll keep Enzo in the cage and just ship him off to God knows whatever deserted island they can find for him, for the love of God, and just do away with him. So I'm going to go with Big Cass for the win.
So you went with Cass. Nick went with the Big Show. I think that it goes without saying that I am also going with the Big Show.
Of course you did.
Yeah, it's the biggest show in town.
Yeah. Okay, so Julie, Cass, Show, Enzo in a cage. God forbidding.
Ken, can I get a final take on this? Can I go before Julie, if that's okay?
All hail McHale.
This keeps coming. This match to me is appalling. There's no sharks involved in it. The shark cage is completely useless. Big Show is going to lose to Big Cass because Big Show winning makes no sense.
Thank you.
And this match has disgusted me so much that I'm going to leave. See you.
Oh, okay. See, this is the exact opposite. A Big Show match disgusts someone so much they have to leave the show. You're gushing about it, and it makes him leave.
He's gone. He exploded in that last All Hail McHale.
He exploded in a bit. Well, yeah, he went out in a blaze of something. All right.
All right, I'm going with Big Cass.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very fun match with Enzo floating around in the shark
fun.
cage.
Oh, yeah.
This'll
Okay,
be a fun one.
I think that's the first time anyone's used fun in this feud. Oh boy. Okay. All right, moving on. Let's get away as far away from this match as possible. All right, so next match we have is for the United States Championship. You got AJ Styles, new two-time United States champion AJ Styles, defending against former three-time United States champion Kevin Owens. And you are not mistaken, that is SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon, who has volunteered his services as special guest referee. Now, I've certainly liked the build-up right here. AJ has yet to have a concrete win over Kevin Owens. There have been several screwy finishes building up to this match. Shane has decided to throw his hat, in this case, ref shirt on, in the case of trying to get a concrete finish to the feud between Styles and Owens. However, as Owens pointed out a couple weeks ago, Shane's had a very shaky history as a referee himself. So that has come to question. But Shane has promised that there will be a winner. He will call it right down the middle. The middle. All right. So that being said, though, I feel like there's going to be some accidental miscommunication right here that ends up leading to Styles getting the win and leading to the long-rumored Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon feud that we've been hearing about for the last couple of months. So I'm going to go with AJ Styles to retain right here. I think this one's pretty set in stone as well. I don't see Owens regaining the championship right here. It's been going back and forth between these two. I mean, we established the fact that the first title switch, the title switch from Styles to Owens the first time around was more or less a miscue. So I don't see them flip-flopping right back to Owens. So I'm going to go with Styles in this one.
Yeah, Ken, I'm with you on Styles, and shockingly, Nick is against you, and he's going with Owens.
I can't believe it.
And I'm with you too.
So once again, everyone in for Styles. Sorry, KO. All right, so let's see. I believe that leads us down the line to the. Do we have anything else besides the championship?
Randy Orton and Rusev.
Randy Orton and Rusev. Ugh, God. Oh man, this is not. I mean, at this point, can you say anything but that you feel sorry for Rusev? I mean, supposedly, like, he was due for a big year in 2017. Supposedly, the rumor was he was going to come back, that he was going to feud for the WWE title, that he was going to turn face, that he was going to go up against his former partner and friend and Jinder Mahal, that they were going to move away from him being having anti-American sentiment, that they were going to have him play the charismatic face that he was always capable of doing. Instead, it's the same old with Rusev. Comes out, tries to crush, only to get upended by a bigger name like Randy Orton. So basically, Rusev, Randy Orton laid out Rusev laid out Randy Orton laid out Rusev. So you would think Rusev's going to get his revenge at SummerSlam, get the win. Don't think so. Orton comes in, RKOs. See you later. 1, 2, 3. Orton needs a rebound win after losing on the feud to Mahal, and here's Rusev. Okay, that's it. Okay, all right. They've given us really no real cognitive reason to think that Rusev is going to come out on top of this. So I think it's just going to be one and done here. I think Orton's going to take the win.
Yeah, Ken, I'm going to go against you on this one. I'm going to go Rusev with Nick.
Really? Why Rusev?
I know it's not the best reason. I just feel like Rusev does pretty well during pay-per-views, and he wins matches that you normally wouldn't expect him to win.
Well, I mean, I give you that. I was wrong about.
He's kind of a wild card for logic. I feel like logic doesn't apply all the time to Rusev pay-per-view matches.
I know, because I remember a year ago when he was in the United States title chase for Kalisto, we thought that it was just going to be another case of Kalisto getting an upset over Rusev, and we all ended up being wrong on that because Kalisto ended up coming away with the United States champion. Rusev ended up pretty much squashing him for the United States title. So you never know. But it's just it's after a big championship feud that Orton's coming out on the short end of the stick on. Rusev's there. He's not really doing anything else right now. So here you go, Randy. RKO. There you go. That's all I got to say about that. All right, and Julie?
I agree with you. I'm going with Randy Orton.
All right, so we got. Oh, and what did Mr. McHale pick?
He went with Rusev. So we got 3 Rusevs,
Wow.
and you and I are the only ones with Orton.
This should be one of the interesting ones. A little upside on, not the way I thought it was going to go. All right, so I believe we've covered everything with the championship matches, unless I'm missing something, guys. I know we had a lot.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We got Finn Balor, Bray
Finn
Wyatt,
Balor versus
Cena.
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Now this was another. Now this has been my main gripe, and I know Mikhail felt the same way about this. The fact that they gave away a number of these matches for free on Raw and SmackDown, which just from a marketing perspective, I mean, just makes zero sense. Okay, if you're going to have such a big start, like a big packed card for SummerSlam, overpacked in my opinion, honestly, because I mean you're playing out 13 matches, which even over 6 hours is going to be, it's something of a stretch. So, I mean, here you gave a match away. It didn't really blow anyone away. I mean, it was kind of like a middle of the road kind of match between Balor and Wyatt. Wyatt gets the win right here. So logic would dictate, okay, we see then we see the post-match activities where Bray dumped a bucket of blood, more like strawberry preserves, but blood on Balor. So you would think that would antagonize Finn into, like, bringing back the Demon King, rise, rise, the Demon King. And you would think we'd see that at SummerSlam, which I think we probably will. We'll see the rise of the Demon King. He'll come, he'll slay Bray, dominate Bray. I think he'll pick up the win. So I'm gonna go with Finn Balor on this one. I think he keeps his streak going from last year at SummerSlam. I'd say he gets the win. So I'm gonna go with Demon King Finn Balor.
I'm with you on the Finn Balor prediction, but Nick, I don't know. Nick's against you again. He's going with Bray Wyatt.
Oh my good golly gosh! However could this be?
Strange.
So I also have Finn. So we're all Finn except Nick.
Well,
Yeah, all Finn
we
except
are
Nick.
all Finn for Balor.
All what?
Finn.
All hail Mikhail.
You just can't help yourself, can
Can't
you?
help myself.
All right, and God help me, what did Mikhail pick?
All right, you got the last 2 big ones to go.
Oh, what's Mikhail?
What did Mikhail
Oh,
pick?
he's
first?
Finn also.
Oh, he's Finn. Oh, wow.
So we're all Finn except Nick.
Yeah, we're all a little Finnish.
Dude.
I know. Okay. Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right. So now we come to the WWE Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura challenging Jinder Mahal. You got the artist versus the modern day Maharaja in Jinder Mahal. So basically, this whole thing came about in a #1 contendership match with John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which ended with Nakamura picking up a shockingly clean and decisive win over John Cena. Let me put it this way. The last time John Cena lost on television was last year to Dean Ambrose, and before that, he hadn't lost a match on free TV since 2009. Wrap that around your heads. All right, so basically now Shinsuke has his first ever WWE Championship opportunity. Now, the interesting thing was the backdrop of this was initially the Baron Corbin and the Money in the Bank briefcase. We thought that maybe, Shinsuke gets the big win, Corbin cashes in, and makes Shinsuke's first reign a short one. I don't know. I don't think so. But that being said, despite the fact that the Money in the Bank briefcase is no longer in play here, I think you got. I mean, I feel like that they're kind of like they're taking Shinsuke and they're pushing to the moon right here. The fact that they gave him a complete, clean, again, like I said, decisive win over Cena, I think speaks volumes about what they're planning here with Shinsuke. And honestly, let's face facts. Like we talked about coming out of his feud with Orton, Mahal just does not come across to me as someone you would want at the front line of your brand, of your show. He hasn't been a decisive champion. He hasn't been a well-functioning champion.
You know what it is?
I mean, it's just I just feel like Mahal just has the Mahal experiment's been a bust, more or less. I mean, the Punjabi prison did more to expose Mahal as a bad in-ring performer than it did to get him over in a feud with a veteran in Randy Orton. That's my take. So I think they're going to go in a new direction right here. I'm going to go with Shinsuke, take the win, win the championship. Maybe have Mahal chase for maybe like a couple weeks, maybe leading to the next pay-per-view. But I don't think they're going to change things up just because Money in the Bank is no longer in play. I'm going to go with Shinsuke to become new WWE champion.
All right, Ken, I'm with you. I am with you on this one. I'm also going with Shinsuke. So yeah, and then Nick. Hold on. All right, Nick said he is going to go with Jinder Mahal.
Oh, color me surprised. Well, color me gold and black, but also color me surprised. All right, so now let's take it over to Julie.
I am agreeing with you, and I'm going with Nakamura. I think Jinder is getting annoying. I think this is a failure, and I think he's done.
All right. Yep,
And,
chalk him right up there with JBL and Diesel.
Mikhail also picked Nakamura.
All right.
So we got...
4 for Nakamura.
So,
1.
Greg, you picked 2?
Shinsuke.
All right.
Okay, so now...
We're all on the same... We're all in agreement, but Nick's on the Mahal Island.
Now, here's the issue. Before we get to this final match, I know we got to get to this final match very quick, but Julie, I've noticed that you have yet to cash in your Big Four championship. Are you sure? Are you sure this is the match you want to cash in on?
Okay, wait. Let me look at my notes here.
I mean, because this is a fatal 4-way match. I mean, you put it.
Yeah, I want to use the Big Four pay-per-view belt.
That's you. So, all right. So you're the Big Four champion. I mean,
Who's the regular champion?
Oh yeah, Greg's the king of pay-per-view. You're the Big Four champion. So like I said, here's the thing. Technically speaking, we've never had someone who's refused to cash in. I mean, you can.
No, I'm using it. Thank you for reminding me.
All right. So just to be sure, so I'm asking you right now: is this the match you want to cash in on, or was there an earlier match you wanted to cash in the Big Four title?
The Cena match.
You picked
Cena.
You picked Cena. All right. Did you put your lock on that?
I did. I put my lock on it, and I'm going to use the Big Four on that.
The Big Four pick. All right. So remember, okay, if you get that right, you earn 4 points instead of 2. However, if you get that wrong, it's minus 1 point.
All right. I'm sorry. Say that again.
If you get since you put it on a lock, on a lock pick, if you get it right, it's 4 points instead of 2. But if you get it wrong, you lose 1. And considering how close a lot of our
I know
last few pay-per-views
so
have been.
So you have an automatic 2 extra points right now, and I could win an extra 4.
So this could be a very this is going to be a very interesting pay-per-view. This is going to be this is going to be one. I think this is going to be one to remember, particularly for this match right here. All right, so you have a fatal 4-way. This is the big one, folks. This is the big main event. You've got the main event. You got the fatal 4-way match for the Universal Championship. It's 1 fall to a finish, folks. No elimination rules, no countouts, no disqualifications. Basically, 1 fall, first person to get a pinfall on any of the other 3 wins the Universal title. Brock Lesnar does not have to be involved in the situation to lose his championship. He has to be there at the finish to retain. So that's the entire outlay of a fatal 4-way match, folks. Now, the caveat here is that if Lesnar loses the championship, doesn't matter if he's involved in the decision. If he loses the title, he said that he and Paul Heyman will take their ball. They'll go home or go to MMA or wherever it is Lesnar roams or he takes up his little hidey hole in. He will leave WWE. That's it. That's it. If he loses, he's done. He's out. He's gone. Bye. See you later. Aloha. Avinu say goodbye. So that being said, it opens up a number of possibilities. Okay, again, we know supposedly the end game in some shape or form involves Roman Reigns either defending or competing for the Universal title at WrestleMania. Now, do I see him winning it here? No, I think it's too soon for. I think it's too soon for that. I feel like there's still a lot of heat that's got to die off before they can even really think about putting the championship on Reigns. And even then, I think it's still a stretch. All right, then you've got Samoa Joe. I mean, a lot of people are still raving about his match with Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. I thought it was a pretty good match, a lot better than I think people were expecting. A lot more even-handed than people were expecting. And a lot of people were thinking that Joe could take it here, and I wouldn't be surprised. Then you got the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Strowman, he's been an anomaly. He's been an enigma in this entire feud. I mean, he's slowly but surely built his own dominant reputation. The fact that he survived an ambulance assault by Reigns, the fact that he beat Reigns in that ambulance match, beat him in a last man standing match. So by whatever means, Strowman has gone one up on one of the more controversial names as of late in WWE, in Roman Reigns. And here's the thing, we have yet to see a true one-on-one counter between Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, which I would be extremely interested in seeing how these two titans actually measure up against each other one-on-one. But then that brings us to Lesnar. Now, here's the thing. Heyman loves to be the hype man. He loves to build things up. He loves to tease us with little hints of what Brock Lesnar can or will do next. But here's the thing. Sometimes Heyman likes to throw us a little swerve, like a little curveball, like Julie said. So what's to say that, okay, this whole thing, supposedly thinking Lesnar has no chance of retaining, how do we know that's not one big swerve? How do we know Lesnar doesn't retain the championship and stick around for another few months? We don't know that. But we don't know if he loses, if he'll truly leave and go to MMA, or it'll just be another famous case of Heyman lying through his teeth. So, I guess, this is a tough one. This is the big one right here. This is the main event. That's why I never put a lock on these. I'm going to go with Brock to retain. I gotta. I feel like this is a swerve right here. I feel like that Heyman's kind of trying to pull the wool over our eyes, hinting that Brock's going to leave for MMA, for UFC. Hinting about having to lock the beast in a cage. Hint, hint. So I feel like they're just building up to one big swerve right. I think Lesnar's going to retain, and I could see him facing up with Strowman one-on-one in the future. I would love to see that match.
I'm with you. Lock of the night for me, Lesnar.
Lesnar, wow.
Yeah,
wow, throwing it down, main event style. Nice.
Yeah, fatal four-way main event. Don't care. Lesnar wins. Lock of the night. That's my platinum lock.
All right, Julie.
I am also going with Lesnar, and we just need Nick's.
Nick went with Roman Reigns.
Nick went. Oh wow. Oh, that's out of left field if I ever heard one. All right, and just go ahead and do it, Greg. I know you want to.
All hail Mikhail.
Yeah, there you go. All right, what did Mikhail put down for a fatal four-way?
Julie, Mikhail.
Sorry. Strowman.
Okay. So he kind of went in the other direction I was thinking of. He went with Strowman on this one. Be interesting. I could see it going down. Like I said, Lesnar doesn't have to be involved in this situation. So, maybe Strowman picks up the win over Reigns again. Who knows? Again, there's a number of ways this match could go. So, we'll have to see. All right. So now we come to match times. Now, this is also the tough one because half of these guys aren't really known for having particularly long matches. So this is going to be the tough one. So Greg, since you are the king of pay-per-view, king of pay-per-view, my bad, king of pay-per-view, you've got the first pick for match time.
All right, fatal four-way, 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, oh boy. Greg, are you sure you don't want to reconsider that?
Hold on, let me reconsider.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with 4 minutes.
Oh, God. Greg, come on, man. You got to know it's going to go more than 4 minutes.
I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
For a SummerSlam main event?
Yep.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Julie? Big 4 pay-per-view champion?
This is a tough one. What did you say, Ken?
Well, I haven't
He
given
hasn't
him much
said yet.
time.
I said 4 minutes.
No, I
She
got
said-
that.
Yeah, he said 4 minutes. Wow.
I think it's going to go much longer than that.
Thank you.
This is the main event. The 4 big dudes. It's WrestleMania. We need the drama. I'm feeling 24 minutes. Is that too long?
No. Actually, I mean, I was thinking around that ballpark. Okay, so let's see. What did Mikhail put down? Did Mikhail put down a match time?
We're going to need to text him.
All right. Did Nick put down a match time?
Yes, he did.
And what
He went with 4 T minutes.
14? Oh, 40 minutes. Oh,
40
wow.
minutes.
13 matches. Ooh, okay, that might be a little too much. All right.
Boy,
so,
he really thinks it's going to be a big match, huh?
Yeah, we were very
I
mad
was
at
in the
each other
same
about this
ballpark
one.
as
Big
you.
argument.
I'm actually going to go a little lower than you. I'm going
3
to
minutes?
say 21 minutes and 35 seconds.
Wow. What do you think's going to happen in that 35 seconds?
I
3 seconds
I don't
will be a
know.
pinfall.
I feel hesitant about going with just an even time because I don't know. Whenever I do, it never pans out for me. So I'm gonna go with an odd number time, 35 seconds. You never know. You honestly never know. And I mean, let's look at it like this: if it ends up being less than 35 seconds, I mean, there's only one person who's going to take it. It's going to be Greg.
Exactly.
All right. So I mean, yeah. So 21 minutes, 35 seconds.
I have one thing I want to ask you now that we're done everything. Can you give the audience an update on Ric Flair?
I'm happy you did say that. I hate to bring the mood down here, but of course the big news this past week was that Ric Flair was admitted to a Charlottesville hospital for a major surgery. Apparently, he's had a number of organ failures. His fiance has been constantly updating everyone that he has come out of the surgery, but he's still in critical condition. So right now, from everyone here at the Wrestling Connection, I want to send our best wishes out to Flair, his fiance, to Charlotte, to all of Flair's family, and I'm hoping that Nature Boy pulls through right here.
Alrighty.
Wish him the
Agreed.
very best. All right, so to pick things, hopefully to help pick things back up. So like I said, so that is all for. I mean, I think this was probably the biggest. Whoa. This is
Sorry. Trying to get stuff ready.
I know. So this is I think this is the biggest paper preview we have ever done. Not just in terms of the style and the glamour and the glitz and the makeup and the hat and the hair and the wigs and the
It's
intro.
too bad Nick couldn't be here, though.
I'm sorry he couldn't be here. I'm sorry he couldn't be here to. Yes, there he is.
Nice.
There he is.
That fooled me.
With his Zach Venturism.
The magic of television. That
The
fooled me for a
magic of
second.
the magic
There he is.
of television.
Recognize.
The magic
Zach.
of television. Ladies and gentlemen. All right. So I also found it very ironic, though, when you think about it. 13 matches, and yet here I am on the cusp, on the potentiality of me coming away with my 13th world title, my 13th King of Pay-Per-View championship. Rather ironic, don't you think? It
It's
seems
like rain on your wedding day.
yeah. How do you know what I'll be wearing on my wedding day?
It's a free ride when you've already paid.
Some good advice you just didn't
Oh, Julie, never change. All right. So
that figures.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to tune in this Sunday. Remember, it's a 6-hour show. WWE is gonna have a special. We're gonna have a special start time of 5 p.m. Not 7 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to tune in to the WrestlingConnection.com. Go to the pay-per-preview section where you can catch all of the live, up-to-date WWE SummerSlam 2017 pay-per-view coverage. All right, like I said, also keep an eye out on our YouTube and Facebook pages for the latest episode of the Wrestling Connection. Of course, this one, and a little behind-the-scenes extra of me getting dolled up to look my golden... or in case my... See, I'm all red. I'm all aglow and bashful. Of course.
Before you leave, I would like to give a shout out to Sabrina.
Of course, thanks go out to my my good friend Sabrina, who was nice enough to come down from Lowell to help me get decked out in my gold and black best.
She is a very talented makeup artist.
You can tell she did a wonderful job decking me out as like old school Goldust. I loved every second of it. So again, I just want to give a standing ode to Sabrina.
Good job.
Thank you again. So in the meantime, though, like I said, that's all. We managed to get through all 13 matches for probably the biggest SummerSlam we've covered yet, the biggest pay-per-view we've covered yet. So make sure to tune in this Sunday, like I said, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the WrestlingConnection.com pay-per-preview section for all your live, up-to-date SummerSlam pay-per-view coverage. In the meantime, for Sabrina, for Greg, for Julie, for Nick, and yes, even for Mikhail. Go ahead, Greg.
All hail Mikhail.
Remember, and Nick,
Recognize.
and of course Nick, with his wacky voice, remember to be connected, get connected, stay connected. See you this Sunday, folks. I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it. The Wrestling Connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. La